Okay, quadratic equations is next. So quadratic equations are basically where we're solving for x, but we're going to have two x values. Okay, so when we're solving for x, we need to make sure our equation is equal to 0. So the first thing I'm going to do for this question is use my knowledge from linear equations and make it so our equation is equal to 0. So I'm going to minus 14x from both sides, and then I'm going to plus 49 to both sides. This giving me my initial equation. Okay. Then what we need to do, we need to get this into two brackets. Now this is called factorization. Okay, so it's where we need something to multiply into the value of 49, and we need something to add together to give us the value of negative 14. Okay, so firstly I can say, okay, adding is going to be a negative and multiplying is going to be a positive, so both my values are going to be negative. So we need something that can multiply into negative 49, and add together to be negative 14. So I'm going to say add together, I can have negative 13 minus 1. I can have minus 12 minus 2, or I can have minus let's just say 11 minus 3, so on. You can do it like that, but you probably should be a bit more sensible with it when you're on a time crunch. So I'm just going to jump straight to, let's say, 9. Minus 9 minus 3, does that multiply to minus 49? No. So next one, minus 8 minus 4, does that multiply? No. Next one, minus 7 minus 7, that can multiply and be positive 49. So my answer for this one is going to be x minus 7 and x minus 7. Now for our final answer, we need to give our x value. So x equals 7. Now the reason why that equals 7 is, imagine you had x minus 7 equals 0, x equals 7. That's why we changed the symbol coming out of it. Okay? Our next question has a 2 in front of the x. So first we check, is there a common factor? Yep, everything can be divided by 2. So we're going to put the 2 outside of the brackets. So we're going to have 2x squared minus 17x minus 18 equals 0. Okay, so now we need to factorize everything that is inside of this bracket. So we're going to do the same again. What can multiply to be minus 18, and what can add together to be minus 17. Okay, so for this one we need one negative and one positive. This one's quite easy and simple, so something that can add together could be minus 18 and plus 1. That can multiply to be minus 18, so this one's nice and easy. So this comes down to x minus 18 and x plus 1 equals 0, meaning our x values is going to be 18 and negative 1. Okay, so my next question. So let's start off with expanding our brackets and making the equation equal to 0. So 3x squared minus 17x is equal to 28. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this one is because we need to use another method for this, because as you can see, 17 is not a common factor of 3. So for this method, we need to multiply our a and c value. So to do that, we're going to do 3 times negative 28, which is equal to negative 84. And then we need to use this value here and we need to find something that can multiply to this negative 84 and then add together to be negative 17, okay? So we need, once again, one positive, one negative. So for this one, you can go through your methods. You can do your negative 84s and then your 1 and so on, and you can work it out. For this one, it is negative 21 and 4. So we can do negative 21 times 4 to give us negative 84, and then we negative 21 plus 4, which equals 17. Okay? Now that we've got this, we're going to substitute our two numbers into this negative 17x. So we're going to have 3x squared minus 21x plus 4x minus 28, and that is still equal to 0. Okay, now let's simplify these down. So the common factor in the blue is 3, so we're going to have 3x, and inside the brackets x takes 7, and then we're also going to have 4, and then the common factor is 4 again, 4 not again, sorry, minus 7. So the reason I've done this is so you can see how it works. And then the thing you can see here is that we have 2x minus 7s. So now we can write this as x minus 7, and our other fraction is now going to be 3x plus 4, and that is equal to 0. So now we have our factorized answer. So we need a final answer of what x is equal to. So we can have 3x plus 4 equal to 0. So 3x is equal to minus 4. Divide both sides by 3. So that can also be minus 4 over 3. So that's one of our answers. And then our other answer is x equals 7. Okay? And that is all of the foundation tier questions that you need to know.